All right, you guys, welcome back to another edition of the Diggy A2 podcast. This is season 3, the new golden era. This is episode 6, and we are talking about the one and only, the greatest Latin rapper of all time, Big Pun. Oh man, I cannot wait to get into this episode. But what I'm gonna do this go around, you guys, is give some shout outs early. Just to mix some things up a little bit. Today is April 9th, and unfortunately today, you guys, was a day that we lost Earl Simmons, aka, or better known as DMX, Darkman X. Very, very tough time for hip hop. A sour day for hip hop today. So I am definitely mourning. I cried myself last night. I grew up on X, and we're definitely gonna pay homage to him when his episode comes up on June 1st. So you all definitely tune in for that. We're gonna dedicate that entire episode talking about the memory of DMX and what he meant to hip hop. So shout out to his family, our condolences to his kids and everybody involved with his memory. And another admin note as we get started today, I want to give a shout out to Paola, Kansas. Got some listeners from Paola. Shout out to my guys in Paola. Thank you all for listening and tuning in, showing love and support. And shout out to my boy Frank Stevenson, my barber, who always making a brother look fresh with the cuts and all waves, all that. Shout out to you, homie, and what you're doing for the movement, man. Love you much, bro. But today I have 2 special guests. Now, these 2 special guests you guys have seen before, but in essence of the Diggy A2 platform's annual birthday, which is April 15th, we decided to bring these brothers back. So we're going to bring back the original trio that started all this on April 15th of 2020. And I am bringing back in my brothers-in-law from another mother, William James Boyd and Frank K-Dog Ketchum is in the building. Gentlemen, what is good? Talk to the people. I'm putting this little thing here so y'all can jump up in here. What's good? What's good? My family was good. Gentlemen, what's good? What's good? Talk to the people, man. Talk to the people. What's good?
Man, look, it's good to be here. Life, love, the pursuit of happiness. Blessed to be here another year. It's 2021. And this year, time waits for no man. You know, let's maximize our opportunities. Let's do it. Don't think about it. If you have anything, any hopes, dreams, aspirations, do it. And if you're watching this, believe me, my brother Rob is a perfect example of this. Just do it. Go Nike. Just saying.
Salute, fam. Frank K-Dog Ketchum in the building. So let me remind y'all about my boy K-Dog. We haven't seen K-Dog with us on this platform in 8 months. It's been 8 months since K-Dog has been with us. So K-Dog has been going through some things. Our love and prayers have been with you, brothers, since you have last been on the platform. Mm-hmm. And how are you doing, our good sir, man? Check in with us, man. How you been doing, dog? What's good?
Man, I appreciate it, Rob. We're doing better medically. Work is still just, man, it's 16, 17 hours a day grind, trying to change lives, you know, for others. And kind of like what William said, you know, you talked about DMX, and he was here yesterday, gone today. You just never know, man. Over this last week, I've lost 3 of my clients, 43 years old, 52-year-old, and a 60-year-old.
Yeah.
Seemed healthy, and just for whatever reason, man, they're not here anymore. So you never truly know, you know. This could be the last time we speak. And hey, wake up every day, man. Wake up every day, do good for other people, grind, leave your legacy, and let's do it. Like you said, let's just do it, man. So I'm glad to be back. I appreciate you having me back, my man.
No, thank you for coming back, brother. When I reached out to you, he was like, yo, my schedule's clear. I said, well, shit, come on with us then, dog. Come on in with us. Let's talk about Big Pun. Let's talk about Big Pun, aka Christopher Lee Rios, man, one of the greatest lyricists of all time in hip hop, man. Let's have a conversation about Christopher Rios. So, all right, so let me break down all the facts first, and then we'll jump into the discussion. Let's see, man, Big Pun, man. First off, rest in peace to Big Pun. First off, let's get that first and foremost. Big Pun Plaza was actually Inaugurated on March 22nd of 2021 at East Fordham Road in the Bronx, New York. He was discovered by Fat Joe in 95, Sound to Loud Records in 97, which was his first solo release of Capital Punishment. So Capital Punishment is what released Big Pun to the world on the main stage. It was released in April of 98. Received 4 mics from the Source, platinum sales, and was nominated for the Grammy. And I will give you all one guess on who he lost that Grammy to. That is Mr. Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z, for Volume 2. That's who he lost the Grammy to. So pretty good person to lose. Okay, so if you're gonna lose anybody, you're gonna lose to Jay. That's okay. But some of the songs off of Capital Punishment that I love, I mean, I think the whole album is fire, to be honest with you. I think the Source overlooked it. But you got Super Lyrical with Black Thought, Still Not a Player, The Dream Shatterer, You Ain't a Killer, Packing the Mac. I'll talk about that in a second. Packing the Mac, Glamorous, Life, Air Squad, I'm Not a Player featuring the OJs in the video, Twins, a deep cover remix with Dr. Dre, with him and Snoop. Let's see, we got Boomerang, You Came Up with Nori, Tres Leches, which was with Prodigy and Inspector Deck. That joint is fire. And then Parental Discretion, which is with Busta Rhymes.
With Busta.
And that was the only album that he made within our time period. However, he did release Yeah Baby as a posthumous album, which was released in 2000. I can't remember the date off the top of my head, but there was some bangers on there too. Oh my God. 100% with Tony Sunshine. What was one of my favorite one, boys? New York Giants with MOP. Oh my God! Like some bangers.
Off with his head.
Man. Off with his. Oh man, he dropped some serious shit on there. But unfortunately, you guys, it's outside the time period, so we can't speak on that too much. We're gonna focus on Capital Punishment and talk about Big Pun's legacy and what he means to hip hop. So let's go and just jump right into it. So let's jump over to Frank first. So Frank, when we think about Big Pun, what do you think his legacy means to hip hop?
Man, so he was the first, like you said, the first Latino to go platinum. I want to say he went double platinum.
Yeah, as a solo artist, correct? Yes, sir.
But man, what drew me to Big Pun was, he was a big guy.
Yeah.
But man, I don't know if it was his stamina or the way he would breathe. Almost made me like, sometimes when he put those lyrics together, it was almost like a baby Eminem when he's doing Rap God. Like I'm like, how can you be that big and just run all these words together and just keep flowing? It was amazing, and I think it was good because at that time, I mean, there weren't any Puerto Rican rappers.
Yeah, what? That's right. We had Fat Joe. I mean, Fat Joe.
Fat Joe, but okay.
But yeah, like
I think Big Pun like solidified it for the Latino community, and by doing so, the entire hip hop community was like, okay, we're gonna get behind that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I just like the way like he like, especially in like in Capital Punishment, he was aggressive.
Yeah.
But then he'd also follow with like the party tracks for the party people, and I like how he balanced that. So he was a pretty special, pretty special character to me, man.
Yeah, man. In order for Fat Joe to even like find this dude, I'm like, man, Fat Joe's got a eye for talent, and and they were best friends afterwards. Like they were like inseparable. You know what I'm saying? And even up to the time of his passing, they were inseparable, man. And to me, Big Pun's lyrical ability is probably unmatched. I won't say he's the top. We'll get into that here in discussion. But I think bar for bar, lyric for lyric, he's up there in the top easy with lyrical ability, because there's not a lot of cats that can, like you mentioned, Frank. This man was like 600 pounds, yo. Like this man was large and had like, I don't know if maybe it was a third lung, Frank. Maybe it was that. Maybe he had like 3 lungs hidden in there or something. I don't know. But the man had like, he was able to put some of these syllables and words together. It was like, what in the hell? Like, where did this come from? Like,
I'm telling you, like we talked about with Eric B when he came out, and the way he was putting them words in his rhymes, man, Big Pun was doing the same thing, and it was just coupled with his flow, and then and all his words made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like the one song, what did he talk about? You could either come in peace or leave in pieces. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So,
Yeah. He was
yeah,
definitely witty, man. I'll definitely give him that. My favorite off the album is "Packing the Mac." Packing the Mac. So it's like a little skit. So for those of y'all that don't know, go back and listen to Capital Punishment. There's a couple of skits called "Packing the Mac," and the second one he goes "Packing the Mac in the back of the act."
Back of the act.
yeah.
And he's like packing
Yeah,
the
it was him
Mac
and
in the back of
Kevin
the
Leaks.
act, and then they like make a song out of it. It's so funny, man.
Yeah, back of the act.
Yeah, and I can't even say it fast. That's why I'm saying it slow, like, because I can't even say it as fast.
I loved it, man. Because it was just hilarious, and it was a nice little
funny.
break, you know.
Yeah, it was funny as hell, man. So let me pass it over to William James Boyd. This boy's first season premiere in this golden era of hip hop. It won't be the last time you guys are gonna see him this season, but it's his first breakthrough. So glad to have you on with us tonight, brother. And I know what a heavy heart, thinking about DMX. And to be honest, Boyd, like I remember listening to DMX. Actually, you introduced me to DMX. You may not remember that, but I sure the hell do.
Yeah.
Back in the barracks, and you put on X. I'm like, yo, what is that? Like, you know what I mean? So
Exactly.
I thank you, brother, for you introducing me to DMX, and I definitely want to get that out there. But we'll talk about that, when we tribute to him. But what are your thoughts when we think about Big Pun? What are your thoughts, bro?
So there's a very interesting fraternity that Big Pun belongs to, because he was out around the same time as he blew up around the same time as DMX,
Yeah.
Cannabis,
Yeah.
and a few others that are escaping me. But anyway, focusing on Big Pun. When Big Pun came out, a lot of that, the whole shiny suit bad boy thing, it was a huge paradigm shift in hip hop.
Yeah.
As far as rap is concerned. And Big Pun and DMX were spearheading it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, X had his crew, and Pun is part of Terror Squad. You know what I'm saying? Now, Fat Joe, he was always one of my faves. You know what I'm saying? But my God, when I first heard him and Pun on freaking that, oh my goodness, it was absolutely insane. I think the first Pun song I heard was Off the Books.
Okay.
With the beat, they did the beat.
Yeah.
And when I heard him, like Frank said, it was reminiscent of Rakim, but in a different manner, because I mean, this guy literally paused never.
Yeah.
I mean, his flow was so crisp and clean, and like, here's this huge dude. I could not believe it.
Yeah.
And Big Pun, not only was he well respected and admired, man, this guy on Fat Joe's Don Cartagena joint, he was with Nas, Jadakiss, Raekwon. Are you kidding me, dude? Just to be in that company on tracks like that, legitimate. If he wasn't legitimate, he was legitimized then. Yeah. And personally, little tidbit, when Nas heard Big Pun's verse, he went back and rewrote his.
Yeah, I think Nas goes first, which is, what you probably don't want to do. If I remember the order correctly, it was Nas and then Pun. Then Jada goes, and then I want to say Raekwon goes after that, and then Fat Joe, sums it up. But Joey Crack plus that equals a lot of dead MFs. I was like, that was dope. That's probably that's got to be one of the top like posse tracks of all time in hip hop. Like when you got 5 like. Like top tier, like all 5 of those dudes are top tier. Maybe Fat Joe, not as lyrically, but the other 4, oh my God. Like,
no doubt.
Right now? Like Jada, you put Jada, Nas, Big Pun, Raekwon on the same, come on, man. Like it's not fair, yo. It's not fair. Like,
not only that, like super lyrical with come on,
Black
man.
Thought. Black Thought. Yeah. That was crazy,
just nasty.
Yeah, just crazy, man. Like it was. I think he just came out of nowhere. And I think to your point, Frank, what you're saying before, but like he kind of came out of nowhere, kind of sort of like nobody. He didn't really have unlike a DMX, right? Where DMX kind of had like a build up. Like nobody really saw this big, humongous, just dude come out of nowhere, and the ladies loved them, the guys loved them, everybody loved Big Pun.
So I think that was key too. That like not only was he respected by the people in the industry, his peers, but the people, the listeners. respected him as well. And I think all that just came together because I heard he was like before this may have been in the 80s, he had a group and it was like, I don't know, Big Moon Dog or something. They had a group called Full Eclipse or something, and music that's never been released. So I'm thinking, mid 80s, I was all into the rap stuff then.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Didn't hear nothing. Then, like I said, all of a sudden, man, he just pops out of nowhere, and everyone's like, "Man, who is this 400-pound dude?" Like,
insane, man. Insane, bro. So let's just jump right into it, right? So for those of you that don't know, we have a private group. I talk about it every now and again, every other episode or so. We have a private hip hop group called Triple HU. Hip Hop Heads Unite. If you want to be a part of it, shoot me a message. Let me know. It's very exclusive, so we don't let everybody in. Just let everybody know about that up front. But within the group, we have Debate Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, I'll throw a debate question out there where we chop it up. Some of the best hip hop minds that I know of that get down in that group. And this week's particular debate question was about our artists were featuring today about Big Pun. And the question was, is Big Pun a top 5 MC dead or alive? And there was one particular person on the show today that was on the island by himself. And he will get the opportunity to explain his stance on this. And that is Mr. William James Boyd. So the entire group felt that Big Pun was not top 5 dead or alive, but William James felt that he was. So I want to give William a William James Boyd. I don't know why I keep saying the brother's full name. Like, I don't know why. It's just like that. Whatever, man.
Hey,
I love you, dog.
It flows like water, man. Flows like water.
It just flows like butter, man. You know what I mean? But anyway, I want to give this brother the opportunity to explain to the audience why he feels that way. And of course, I'm sure me and Frank are going to have something to combat this, but that's why we're on here to have the healthy debate. But Will, the floor is yours. You're saying Big Pun, top 5, dead or alive. That's a really hard stance. And I want to know, how did you come to that conclusion, my good sir?
Well, I'm going to start this off like a song on the late, great Christopher Wallace's album. In regards to everybody that left me on the island, play your haters. I'm kidding. Love all y'all. Love you all. Anyway, no, all jokes aside, it's like Big Pun, his skill level, the way he flowed, he had the way he put his verses together, the intellect behind them. It wasn't like this was some fly-by-night thing. Yes, he had a posthumous album, and yes, he was cut down too soon. Yeah. But just like with Biggie Smalls, you know what I'm saying, Christopher Wallace, Christopher Rios, okay, when he came out, his skill was, it was axiomatic. There was no way you could deny this man. No way on God's green earth. Now, when I say he's one of the best lyricists, top 5, dead or alive, you take away the accolades, you take away the longevity, and you take damn near any rapper's best album, and I mean damn near. You keep the top 5. Okay. And I guarantee you that Capital Punishment, if it doesn't exceed it, it matches it. That's my thing. Okay. Now I understand, like cats like, let's say Big L, you know what I'm saying, in a different, situation, he might have blown up if he hadn't, died. You know what I'm saying? Right. We're talking about Big Pun. This man, not only could he flow, this man had what KRS-One calls breath control. The man was he was a maestro at it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, Dream Shatterer should be a master class. They should teach that in college. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how you destroy somebody's will in rap. This is how you crush somebody's soul. Yeah. That man, matter of fact, I'll put his one album against a good portion of the top tier rappers against their entire discography. Oh. That's how strongly I feel about it. Because if you look at the content, if you look at the charisma, you look at the body of work on what little bit of work he had, there is no way on God's green earth you can tell me that half of these so-called, wannabe goats, you know what I'm saying, should be doing anything but being chained up to a fence, chewing on grass. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? The man's lyrical talent, it's oh my goodness, that man. R.I.P. Big Pun. I'm not gonna spit his lyrics and everything. I want to, but I'm just saying the man was nasty with it. He was nasty with it, and he was nasty with it because he not only made you laugh, he made you think. Yeah. And just like Jadakiss and quite a few other people, he painted you a picture.
Okay.
He painted you a picture. I mean, seriously, you know what I'm saying?
So to combat what you're saying, I'm gonna let Frank have chew on you first before I jump on you next, because I see your point. I respect your point. Howsoever, how is it that when the album came out, it only received 4 mics from the Source magazine? So when you listen to the album, I think it's a good album, but it's not a great album. There are some skips in there. There's a couple of corny tracks. That's why I didn't list the whole track listing. When I went through it this past couple of weeks, I don't think the whole album.
Oh no, I didn't like every track on it. There are very few albums I like every track.
My point exactly. So, when you got some of the top tier MCs, what I consider the greatest of the great, when you have some of the, what I would consider some of the top 5 dead or alive, it's all about body of work. Now, if you're talking lyrical ability, does he slide in there? I'd probably have him at 6 or 7. Lyrical ability, yes. I will not even debate you about that when it comes to him at least being in the top 10. I don't have any debate on that. But Frank, I'm gonna let you chew on this one first, man. What are your thoughts on what William just said to us? So he's saying that Big Pun is a top 5 dead or alive MC. Dead or alive, which means either every rapper that's ever put his hands on a microphone, he's in that top 5. Do you agree or not agree?
So I'm going to get Will's back a little bit, not fully. So I do disagree. But I will say, remember back in the day when Will Smith came out with that song Summertime? It was in the summertime, right?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Remember that song?
Yeah.
I just joined the army, dude, by the way.
Okay. Man. I want to say I'm still not a player. Like, it came out April. When this album dropped? Because I want to say I'm still not a player. It had that same effect throughout that summer.
Right.
So that song, I would bump that thing.
It was everywhere, no doubt.
Yeah,
no question.
It was
everywhere.
No question.
And I'm hearing him, and I think I might be getting Will's back because he tried to get my back a little bit on the Kid and Play. So I'm kind of like helping him a little bit. I got you, bro. With the lyrical flow and all that, but I just can't go top 5. And I think the big thing that holds me back is I just can't get out of my head the sample size.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's fair or not, but I think if he had 4, 5, 6, 12 albums and he was still doing that, we could probably say, man, he may be, top 5, top 2, whatever. But I think the only thing that's holding me back is just the sample size. It just wasn't enough. And then, and I know we're not talking about his next album, but looking at that next album, he have that aggressive streets theme to it. It was more slowed down a little bit.
Was a little rugged, yeah.
Talked about his struggles and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So his style changed. So I don't know. Maybe his third album he would have changed again and maybe dropped another notch. I don't know, but I just don't think the sample size is there. I will say he was amazing lyrically with the flow, stamina, breath control, wordplay, wittiness, funny. But at this point, I cannot go top 5, but I do see where Willie T is going with this.
I think I would agree with both of you guys. I think let's say if we put together a lyricist 101 class, right? Let's just say lyricism 101 we'll call the course, right? So I think if we're gonna put a lyricism 101 course together, I think you gotta have Big Pun on that course as a subject, right? Because the way that he was able to articulate himself, the way that some of the things that he said, and to your point, Frank, this guy was not a small dude. He was a big guy to say a lot of words really, really quickly. So I think you'd have to have him as a subject in that course, right? But who do you? So I guess so that brings me to my next point. Will is if he's not top, if he is top 5 dead or alive, who is excluded from that list? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, who do you not have on there? So, for instance, my top five would be Notorious B.I.G., Nas, Jay, Rakim, and Eminem. So out of that five, who the hell are you bumping off to put inside that list?
I do see your point, but what I'm saying is, I'm not. How do I? Okay, so let me articulate this a little bit, and I'm gonna use what you said, Frank. Like the question was, is he a top five dead or alive MC? Now I get where you're coming, Rob, and that not only is that a slippery slope. I don't think anybody would be able to, sufficiently convince enough people, you know what I'm saying, to take their side. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like me, I'm probably not going to convince a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I am loath to replace him with any of those people. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, man, maybe we should have a top six. But the thing is, it's all about the MC. Now,
okay.
Now consider this before y'all vilify me or crucify me. If I had to swap anybody, I'd have to remove Jay-Z and put Pun there. Now, hear me out.
I'm about to fall out my chair.
Listen.
Oh
I love Jay.
I'm
about to get shot after this, man. I swear. But listen, disrespect to Sean Carter. No disrespect to the billionaire Sean Carter, who has difficult takes a day, impossible takes a week. All I'm saying is this: as far as being a pure MC, and Jay will tell you, I'm not a rapper. I'm a hustler. Just so happens I know how to rap. And that through pain in the ass. Big Pun, MC. We're not talking record sales, longevity. That dude was one of the nastiest MCs in existence at one point. Now, personally, MC, like Rakim said, MC means move the crowd.
Right.
Now, Big Pun had charisma, he had style, he had character, and the man had depth in his lyrics.
I agree.
He could take it here and back there. Now, so can Jay. Now, I said if I had to.
Yeah.
Now, as far as being an MC, that's one of those things that's just like you have to debate, because every top five isn't quite the same. And I'm not going to lie to you. I think your top five and mine are pretty much the same. But Big Pun is always either 1A, 2A, 3A. Right. And you can't have, you can go, horizontal all you want to, but then you'd have like 50 MCs in the top five categories.
You're right. You're right. There's only so much room for the best of the best. And, and to your point, Will, I mean, like I mentioned, if we were doing a Lyricism 101 class, you got to have a chapter in that textbook on Big Pun. Like, you have to. And only because, not because of his, because of his lyrical ability, and damn, man, what he meant to the Bronx, New York.
Bodied rappers,
his impact on the Bronx. Like, I think if you go anywhere in the Bronx, any part of the Latin community in the Bronx, he's well respected. There's murals of this dude fucking everywhere. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the guy is well respected. You know what I'm saying? So to me, on impact, he would have a chapter in that textbook. But
I didn't want to bring this up, but how many of those rappers in the top five have a street named after him?
Good point. Very good point. Good point.
That's not even fair, man.
I know. It was low. It was
a
dirty.
Good point. But he brings up a good point. He brings up a good point. I mean, it's.
But I do want to say one last thing in that regard. So
you selling it, man.
When Marshall Mathers dropped the Slim Shady EP, right? Now, lyrically, he was dope. Now, from then to now, lyrically, he's deified. Now, imagine Big Pun starting out where he was. Yeah. Because let's be honest, he was way ahead of Eminem on his first album. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You compare their first albums, Eminem's album's still dope, but Big Pun lyrically was superior. Now, imagine Big Pun.
I would agree with that.
Imagine Big Pun then to now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and unfortunately, to go back to Frank's point, Big Pun passed away. He was 28 years old, man. 20 years old. Like, there's no telling the sky's the limit for what that brother was, what he could have become. And you know what I'm thinking about, guys? Like, we talk about especially in today's time, where some of the things that were taboo and we didn't talk about back in those 90s and early 2000s about, depression and feeling down about yourself and self-image and addiction. And we talked about it, but we didn't really talk about it as much as we do now. And Big Pun's demise, if anybody knows the story about Big Pun, he wasn't always that big. He was into boxing.
He wasn't.
He was really healthy. And he got to a point in his life where he was
he's our height.
Yeah, he got really
our
depressed.
height and our build.
Yeah, he would just eat. That was his thing. Like that was his fallback mechanism was to eat, and that's how he got so big. And you just never know what demons people are fighting, man. You just never know. You know what I mean? It's just so sad to see his life get cut so short at 28 years old. And to both of you guys' point, both of your points are very well articulated, and I could agree with you, Frank. And I'm so happy to have my two brothers that started with me from the very beginning, episode 1, LL Cool J, to where we are now. And I don't even know how many episodes, maybe 60 episodes later, to come back full circle to have you guys with me, man. It's awesome, man. But we got to start wrapping things up, gentlemen. And how we have been doing things in season 3 is paying homage to the late, great George Floyd. For this entire season. So what we have been doing, gentlemen, Will, if you could remove your hats, we're gonna do a 9-second moment of silence, and then we're gonna bow our heads for that specific time, and then we'll get into the shout out portion.
Indeed.
Amen. Let that brother's soul rest in peace, and to all the others that we have lost due to social injustice, their souls rest in peace as well. So, shout outs. All right, Big Frank, who hasn't been on in 8 months, 8-month layoff. Man, a lot has happened, Frank, in 8 months. But who are your shout outs going to, homie?
So I just have 4 quick shout outs, man. I gotta talk about my first wife, man. We got 25 years together this year. So man, she's stuck by me, it's been crazy. I can't even believe it. It's unreal. 25 years.
Long time.
That's crazy. So, I definitely gotta, give her all the glory for that. Today's my pop's 81st birthday. He's up in heaven. So I know he's tearing it up there. Next Friday, April 16th, my boy Chucky D, man, it'll be 10 years since he was killed in Afghanistan. That time went by like that. I can't believe it's been 10 years. Yeah. But all his kids are doing good, man. Everybody's growing. And lastly, I got to shout out my coworker, man, Big Juice. She knows I've been going through some stuff, and she came into the office today with a bunch of fried chicken and put it right on my desk. And I said, you know what? I gotta hook you up. So yeah. So let me get on that. And then I got one thing real quick. So my mother-in-law, little white lady, right? She was going from Connecticut into New York, into the city in 2000. Or when did Pun die? What year?
Pun died in 2000, yeah. 2000. Yeah.
She was going from Connecticut into New York. She got off the highway and she got stuck in the middle of his funeral procession. No lie, right?
Wow.
She said she was right behind the hearse.
Wow.
So Pun was 698 pounds when he passed away, and she said that hearse was like that. It was leaned back, and I was like, "How did you get in there?" But she just, she didn't know the funeral and stuck right up in the middle. I said, "That's crazy, man." But
what a story, man! That's crazy.
But that's all I have, though, for real. But hey, Rob, I appreciate you, man, having me on. And Will, it's always good to catch up with you, my brother. So I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Salute, Frank. Salute, Indeed. Frank. And happy early birthday to you, too, as well, brother. My man about to be the big 5-0. Woo!
It's coming up to me and talk about it.
Yeah, my boy about to be the big 5-0. Shout out to you, Frank, man. Much love. And you know what, Frank, in all seriousness, man, glad to have you back on. We missed you, brother. Hope we have you on some more times, man. And we missed you. The fans missed you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I brought back Mr. Frank K-Dog, catch him back in for
Appreciate it, brother.
at one time. So let's bring it down to William James, who has the record for most appearances. I stopped counting because the brother's been on the show so many damn times. So I don't even know how many times he's been on here. But the floor is yours, sir. Who your shout outs going to, homie?
Killing it.
I was like, no. All right. Bottom line is, this might sound corny, but my shout outs are to all my brothers from Charlie 212, 546 PSB, 203rd PSB, all the men and women that fought, bled, died, still here. My family here. I mean, Rob, Frank, freaking all of the people that were together with us at 203rd. I just want to give a shout out, and I'm just very thankful that at this stage in my life, I can say I've got family, and my family ranks in the hundreds and thousands. You know what I'm saying? So I'm truly blessed. I love you guys, man. It's always good to see you guys, and we got to do this. We got to do this in the same place at the same time. We coming to see you, Rob. We coming to see you, baby.
No doubt. Come to Kansas City, man. Let's do it in person, man. Let's do it. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. That season 4 list, you guys, or for those of you that are watching and listening, is G14 classified right now. It's on the lock and key, so I can't let that out to the public yet. But yeah, season 4 is gonna be mean. But we'll talk about that later. My shout outs are short. My shout out is definitely going to Frank and Boyd. My day one ride or dies. When I was putting this stuff on piece of paper to a year later, we've all come full circle, and it's so great to bring this a year later back to where it is now. I definitely want to give a shout out to DMX, to the life and memory of DMX. Man, that one hurts. So shout out to the Dark Man. We'll talk about him on the 1st of June. Shout out to my family, my kids. Shout out to the Queen, Jessica. Shout out to Kelly, Frank's wife, who looks like she's still like 15 years old. I don't know what's going on over there, but like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Something nice for putting up with you for a quarter century.
Yeah, put up with Frank for 25 years. Definitely a huge shout out going to Kelly for that. Shout out to Shot by Six, Frankie. Shout out to Pay just turned 21 years old. Shout out to your whole family, Frank. We love you, dog.
It, bro.
That's real talk, man. And my last shout out goes to my homeboy OG Tech, One Team, One Mission. I got a sweatshirt on today. That's my OG down there in North Carolina who's tearing things up, man. So shout out to you, OG Tech. We're going to link up after this, homie. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all that we have for this week. Thank you for tuning in. Next week, we will be talking about the Queen Bee, Little Kim. Man, I cannot wait to get into that. The female femme the cow, or the what she call herself, Miss Black Erica Kane. That is what she is to hip hop.
I forgot about
Black
that.
Erica Kane, man. I can't wait to talk about Lil Kim, man. But shout out to my family, shout out to you guys, and as first and foremost, and as always, shout out to hip hop music, hip hop culture. We'll see you guys next week. All right, peace.